Welcome to Spotlight on Business here on the NCWLIFE channel. I'm Eric Granstrom. You might think I'm at the latest cafe here in the Wenatchee Valley. Well, I am sort of. We're actually at Senior Insurance on Springwater Avenue in Wenatchee to talk to Jim Heinlein and his family about their new building, about senior insurance, and about serving the insurance needs of seniors in North Central Washington.
My name is Jim Heinlein, owner of Senior Insurance, as well as I'm an agent here. And we're here at our new building on the Springwater Street. In fact, we're calling the building the Springwater Building, home of Senior Insurance of North Central Washington. And this is my wife, Ray. She's been helping me out for going on about 15 years, helping with the business. And it's great because there's just so many ways that she fills gaps in our schedule because she knows so much about the business. It's a great asset to have. And my daughter, Austin, in addition to being an agent herself, is also our creative director. We're a local North Central Washington business, office in Moses Lake, Ephrata, Wenatchee, Omak, and Tonasket. Each office has an agent and an administrative person because not only do you want to help teach and enroll somebody, but after that's happened, you want to support them. So each office has a dedicated educator and enrollment agent.
Year-round.
Yeah, year-round, and an office admin who's also a customer service person. Over the years, we've just kind of progressed from different places and finally got to the point where we could afford doing our own building. But in doing our own building, I just wanted it to be a really comfortable place. And what our clients have been saying to us is exactly that. This is a really comfortable place to work with their insurance needs.
Located at 1108 Springwater Avenue in Wenatchee, Jim says the new building was built with specific design elements and experiences in mind for their clients.
Well, I was actually kayaking out in the Puget Sound. I was cruising along the coastline, and I saw this house, and I said, that's what I want my office to look like. So the owners graciously let me take pictures. They were probably shocked, some guy jumping out of a kayak running up to their house, but I explained myself. And so what we want is kind of for lack of better words, an insurance experience that's pleasant. And so when you come to your appointment, you start by, our waiting room is actually a cafe. And we have coffee and treats, and we begin our conversation there. Because I just thought to myself, who do you go to cafes with? You go to cafes with friends. And I like that feeling. So our appointments start with a real friendly conversation, and then you move to the office at the appropriate time to discuss business. But in terms of color and layout, maybe Ray can address that.
It's industrial, but we used a lot of mid-century. As you can see, the furniture, the colors, we just wanted something different than gray all the time. So we kind of went the green route, and I wanted to bring the outdoors in. I wanted it to be really fresh and healthy looking.
In addition to plenty of space for client meetings, Senior Insurance also features a classroom for group learning sessions or community gatherings.
We've got this very fun Dolby surround sound system with about a 20 by 20 foot screen. And yeah, you probably don't need that big a screen to teach people, but it sure makes Seahawk parties fun. Yeah, but yes, yeah.
For the Heinleins, business is a family affair where everyone brings something different to the table. Growing through client referrals and staffed with a team of insurance agents and customer service staff, Jim says Senior Insurance serves a growing number of seniors in the Valley.
I believe over 5,000 clients. Yeah, I didn't know that that was a big deal, but I was at a conference one time and I shared that with somebody and they didn't believe me. It's just what it is. But I'm so blessed to have 8 licensed agents who are helping me. And I'd love to name them all off, but I'd probably forget somebody and then be really embarrassed. So I'll just say I have 8 wonderful staff members who all function in their strength.
So who is the typical client coming through the doors of Senior Insurance?
It varies. It can be someone on disability, under 65, to like my mother who's 85. It's a big spectrum of people. What we try to do though is find the most suitable plan for them. And that can mean going with a standard, the Medicare Advantage, or maybe a Medigap with a standalone drug plan. We just find out what they need, what's the best one for them.
When people come into you, have you had them come in sometimes bring you a box of paper?
Oh,
yeah, it's here's everything I've received from all these different companies, and I don't know where to start, so I haven't opened any of this mail. And we kind of take all of that and set it aside and just use our teaching chart that shows you 2 ways that you can have your Medicare. Simplify everything. And typically at the end of a 1 hour or 45-minute one-on-one meeting, they sit there and they say, wow, that's like actually makes sense now, and you've explained it better than anyone else I've gone to, because we keep it really simple.
Yeah.
But still teach them everything that they would need to know.
Options.
Right. And whether we have a teaching done in a classroom format, in fact, at our new building here, I mentioned my gym's fun room. It's also a classroom where we can seat, 15 to 20 people, and we teach them how Medicare works. Some folks like the classroom environment. Others want one-on-one. So whatever is suitable, but teaching is at the core, teaching about Medicare plans and what your options are.
We asked Austin Heinlein what is a common problem she works to solve with her clients.
Probably some of the most significant times are when people come in and they have a plan that's completely outdated and they're paying a couple $100 more each month than they need to just in that monthly premium, because the plan that they're on hasn't told them that there are other options out there, and that the plan they're on isn't even offered anymore. It's so old. And so they come in, and being able to educate them on what their options are and getting them on a plan that's actually suitable for their lifestyle and their budget, and then having them realize, wow, you just saved me a couple $100 each month. That's really satisfying.
Jim Heinlein breaks down important dates when it comes to Medicare this winter.
Medicare says in the fall, each year, October 15th to December 7th. That's the time of year for people to shop and compare and decide, do I want to keep my current plan or do I want to move to something else? And so any shopping done in this October 15th to December 7th, of course, by December 7th, you need to have that solidified. On December 8th, it's over. Whatever you have will begin January 1st. Well, Medicare decided, we want folks to have options. So on January 1st, with whatever you chose for the year, for 2019, you can actually change your mind one time from January 1st, no later than March 31st.
For Jim, what is it at the end of the day in senior insurance that makes it a good day?
There's a few things, but one that pops in my mind is at the end of an appointment when people say, wow, I never knew that. That's pretty neat. And I'm actually thinking about a customer yesterday. She had a chance to work with a different agent, and it was flattering. She just said, I laughed so hard. And it's almost like, I tend to joke around a little bit too much sometimes, but she just said, I laughed so much. We spend half the time laughing, half the time talking about Medicare. And I get that a lot. I have a little bit of Tourette's and I say silly things, but at the end of the conversation, people know more about Medicare. So having fun and helping people get a suitable plan.
Up next, we'll find out more about a small college in East Wenatchee. It's right here on Spotlight on Business.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE channel's Spotlight on Business. It started over 20 years ago in Alaska and has grown throughout the western states. It's Charter College, and it's right here in East Wenatchee. We're going to spend some time today talking and learning more about Charter College with the president of the East Wenatchee campus, David Barshis. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Charter College is a technical college, so people come to us to learn business skills, IT skills, but our main specialty at this location is medical assisting. Charter College has been around since the mid-'80s. Our first campus is based in Anchorage, Alaska, actually. And then there was a merger, and now we have 14 campuses in Washington, Montana, New Mexico, California, and Alaska. People sometimes ask if we're a charter school, which we're not. I think charter just came from the idea of, a voyage or a journey. These students are on an academic and career journey.
What kind of students are coming through the doors of Charter College, and what opportunities are available?
I can say that the young people that come through our doors, they're looking for an opportunity that will pay dividends, literally, I guess, in terms of a job with career advancement opportunities, and something that can be accomplished within a year time frame. And the medical assisting program is a 10-month program. They're here taking classes 3 days of the week at most, for a couple hours at a time. And for young parents, working parents, this works for their schedule. And they can see the light at the end of the tunnel where they're working for a provider like Confluence Health. We prefer to send them to Confluence because that's where the job opportunities are. If there's a relationship that a student might have with a more local or private provider, we can certainly help make that match happen. We are looking for prospective students who are serious, who will commit to investing in their future. We're happy to talk with anyone, but if someone does not imagine themselves, wearing the cap and gown and putting on the scrubs and actually working in the field, then maybe we're not the best fit for them. We pride ourselves on really knowing our students, all of them on a first name basis. We have about 50 students right now in the medical assisting program. The diversity of backgrounds, students bring their own life experiences to the classroom, and that mixing is definitely, it makes the educational process fun, and teachers learn too. So it goes both ways.
Charter has several locations around the West and offers a unique way of interviewing for a spot in a program.
When they walk in, they'll interview with our staff in the admissions department at other locations. They'll interview by video. And then they'll also do the same process for our financial aid applications. But all our teaching is here on ground, locally. And we have a lab, a fully stocked medical lab, and also a classroom. It can take a couple visits, maybe an hour or two at a time. We really dig into potential challenges that a student might have on the personal side of things, whether it's transportation, work schedules, childcare, what have you. And we try to address those up front before they even begin classes. As a accredited school, we are able to provide federal financial aid. We can assist students in researching scholarships to individuals, and there's literally thousands of opportunities for that. And we also offer what's called federal work study, where a student, a currently enrolled student, can apply to the program, and either that student would work here on campus part-time, assisting our instructors in the lab, or we can pair that student with a nonprofit community organization, and they are essentially being paid to work as a volunteer. We have partnerships with the public library system, the school districts, Habitat for Humanity, Humane Society, things like that.
Charter College offers an educational experience with real professionals from throughout the field.
All our instructors are practitioners, so they come with that multiple years of experience working in the healthcare field, and that's the only way we're able to impart those skills onto our students. There are soft skills that we really try to drive home. Dress for success is a big theme here that we are pretty strict with, and professionalism is not just appearance; it's attitude, language, mindset, and that will put our students at a competitive advantage versus maybe students from other programs.
At the end of the day, Barsha says he finds the job inspiring as students continue to overcome challenges in their lives.
Some of our students come with very big personal challenges, either happening right now or in their past, and we have quite a few success stories where maybe a student had to drop out due to a family emergency, and then they re-enroll and they make good on their commitment to themselves. And those are, I think, the best days when those students, they struggle, and we see them struggle, and we help them as much as we can. But at the end of the day, it's really up to that person to take the steps and finish. And not everyone makes it, and some struggle more than others. And the days where the students who struggle the most, when they can say, I did it, those are the best days.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Channel Spotlight on Business. For so many people, the thought of home ownership and all the paperwork that goes with it makes them nauseous. It seems impossible. But for Tracy Dry and the gang at Guild Mortgage, they take the impossible and make it possible every day. We're going to find out more of those stories today on the NCW Life Channel.
Tracy Dry and her husband moved from Southern California in 1993, settling into north central Washington for its small-town charm.
You know the Cascade Loop brochure? I somehow ended up with a copy of that, and I just kept looking through the brochure going, I'm going to live somewhere on this loop. And that's it. We just wanted a more simple, relaxed, safe environment where we knew that we would eventually, start our family, and it was just a different community. It wasn't so chaotic, and got to really know people in your community, whereas in California, you don't know anybody in your area.
Dry has worked in mortgage lending and financing since 1987, starting in Wenatchee with RBC Mortgage in 2005.
In 2005, I started back into mortgage lending, where I did all types of home loans, and I started with a company that was called RBC Mortgage. And then RBC got bought out, and then that company got bought out. And then I've made some transitions along the way. And back in 2009, I was given an opportunity to be a branch manager and create an environment for which I really wanted to have in this community. And most of us have been together in the office here since 2009, 2010. I would say that I think what I like about it is I always have this analogy of it's kind of like a kaleidoscope or a puzzle, and that's what I like about it. I mean, as far as the lending goes, everything's changing all the time, and I think people are more aware of the changes that have taken place over the last 10 years. But what you're always doing is trying to find a way to put all the pieces together to make it work for the perfect program for each client that sits in front of you. And so I think that's what I like. I like the ability to tear it down and put it back together and making sure that it's the right program.
Dry gives us background on who Guild Mortgage is and the work they do for their clients.
Guild Mortgage was founded in San Diego, and it was designed as a small company just to help people get into homes. And it has since branched out to being nationwide, and it has grown exponentially. And the Guild's core culture is all about the people and making a difference. And what I find is that I think that's what's really enabled us to shine and help clients differently, because it's not about how many homes you sell or how many loans you do. It's about how many people you help. And so instead of just always looking at the bottom line, it's how many people can we help? How many people did we make a difference in their lives in getting into a home? And that's different. What we know that this is definitely a unique area. I mean, we find that some of our properties are more unique. Our appraisals can be more unique. Our clients, they're definitely, it's not the same cookie cutter as somebody that's always 40 hours a week at one job. We have clients that may have multiple jobs, seasonal jobs, even if it's construction. We know that we have to fill that special niche, and we're here to create that ability to get a home loan even when it's unique.
Guild Mortgage prides itself in helping all types find the right home. Dry says new clients may be anxious coming into the office because of their fear of the unknown.
They come in scared, or they don't know what to expect, and I think that a whole portion of ours is to make sure that we educate them and give them advice and support along the way, and that they know You can come in anytime, you can call, let us know we'll let you know what's going on, but let us know what your fears are so we can help. But I had recently, in the last couple months, a couple people that came in, and so you have like a widow that came in, she's buying her home for the first time by herself. And there's a scare, she's like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right things? I don't know if I can do this. I've never done this on my own. And that happens, and you're able to just give them information and advice and direction and support. And this whole new chapter of their life is now moving forward. And, there's so many different stories of that. It's just fun, whether it's somebody young getting their first home, or if it's a family, planning out what they're going to do, or if it's somebody older getting their last home.
Dry says her team at Guild Mortgage is what makes the business successful and gives clients opportunities for great outcomes.
What's most important is the culture you have in your work environment. We spend so much time together. I think when you have a team that truly cares about one another and cares about everybody else's success, not just theirs, it's less competitive. You still have the competition going on, but you have more of what can we do to help one another, what can we do to make a difference, and I think that really is huge. People want to come to work because they want to make a difference.
For Wenatchee, it's no surprise the Valley has seen a lot of change when it comes to the housing market. How does Guild Mortgage work with prospective home buyers in a changing climate? Dry gives us an example of just one of many programs Guild offers.
So there's been a lot of change going on. I mean, we've seen price points for entry-level homes are just very high. It becomes difficult for someone to save the down payment, to get into a home, to have to afford the payment, and other pieces that come with it. So this program is designed exactly for first-time home buyers, which is typically anybody that hasn't been in a home or hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. So it's a 3% down. It's a $2,000 gift card to Home Depot when they close. So usually the first thing that people do is they go out and buy a washer and a dryer or paint, and they need things to fix up the home. This is so that obviously they can get into the home, but they don't change their debt ratios immediately. I mean, it's just, we want to make sure that they can afford to do the things they need to do, and give them a little support going in. And a $1,500 credit towards their down payment or closing costs. It's a Guild-only program. It's a needs-assessed program. It has income limitations. You certainly can't be making $250,000 a year to get this program, but it's really for that first-time home buyer to help alleviate that strain and still get into a home.
Dry maintains that the client is number one at Guild Mortgage as she works to have their backs when helping them with their goals.
Sometimes when I meet with a client and it's a product that maybe I don't have that's going to be best for them, I have a lot of friends in this industry that I reach out to. So I want to refer them to whatever's going to be best for them. I want them to always come back knowing that I'm looking out for them. Guild Mortgage, if I want to look at the actual drop down of programs, I mean, there's a plethora of programs.
Tracy says when clients come through the Guild Mortgage doors, their service is more than just a transaction.
I want them to feel that when they come in and see any one of us at Guild Mortgage, that they know that they're dealing with people that truly care, that are going to listen, find out what their goals and their needs are, and hone in on, okay, how can we make that fit? Sometimes I'm still here working late, and I just know that I'm trying to wrap things up, and knowing that I said what I was going to do, and I did what I said. As a whole, when I've had the opportunity, when we first became part of Guild, I had the opportunity to meet the president of the company, and then I met our national vice president, and these people were the most sincere, caring people I'd ever met. And I thought, wow, I found my work home. I mean, I can't imagine being anywhere else.